NCAA Tournament. I mean, I know you were going to get in regardless of what happened tonight, but to do this again and again and again, and I'm asked about the consistency for the program, but again, 33 straight NCAA Tournament bids.
I remember trying to get our first one. I remember when we got our first one and how unbelievable it felt to get a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. That's every kid's dream when they come to college. And I can't say that I feel the same now when we get into the tournament, even though there was times this year where I was hoping that we get into the tournament. But it probably doesn't feel the same as it did back then that we actually are going to be playing in a tournament. But the fact that you're putting yourself in that position every year up to this point means that every year you're one of the teams that has a chance. And that's basically all you can ask for, is to have a chance. And that's what we do at UConn. That's what I get paid to do at UConn. Give ourselves a chance to win a national championship. Doesn't mean it's going to happen every year. Doesn't mean it's realistic every year. But every year we have to give ourselves a chance. And it starts with, getting in first. And, as every taxpayer knows, that's the least I can do for what they pay me, right?
It seemed like you had a cool moment with Aaliyah when you pulled her out to an ovation and you said something to her. She walked away from you kind of chuckling. I don't know if you'd be willing to share what that interaction was with her.
I think just kind of reminding her again about, and it's not the first time, but reminding her again that in order for us to be the team we can be, she has to be that every night. And I asked her if in Canada, right and left were different than they are in America, because she did a great job on Segrist, and then when she went right a couple of times, she was really upset with herself. And so I just wanted to make sure that we weren't giving her bad information based on, where she's from. So I just wanted to try to make her laugh a little bit, because I think she was kind of pissy about missing a couple free throws,
Can you pinpoint what flipped the switch for her this season?
I think it could have been anything. It could have been anything. You look around and you see that Dorcas playing well, and that we can play with four guards a lot of times, which we couldn't before. Or maybe she just was disappointed in herself that, hey, I should be a lot better than I am. Or maybe it was getting left off any of the Big East first or second team or any of that stuff. I could have been anything. All I know is there's been a huge difference in her approach and in the way she's played.
Geno, you had mentioned that players kind of realizing that they could play without Paige. When do you think that shift was internally? And when you really saw that?
I don't know exactly what game, I think there's I think it had a lot to do with Caroline coming in and scoring and trying to take some of that scoring load off of some of the other guys. That we felt like she could get us a bucket anytime we needed one. And that's how we felt about Paige. And then, like I said, when we got Azzi, it was the same thing. We felt really confident that she could get us a bucket whenever we needed one. And maybe because of that, the other guys didn't feel the pressure of, I got to make every shot or we're going to lose. So I think they kind of all played in together.
Krista's on kind of a short list to be 3-time all-conference first team, 4 times every season all-conference. Yet, she seems to get more criticism, like, you're not doing enough. How would you describe what she has done in 3.5 years, and does it all come down to what happens, what you hope will be 6 games?
Well, it's neither fair nor unfair. It is what it is. That when you're a player that comes out of high school with all the accolades that she had, and now you go to UConn, you're ultimately judged on how you play in the postseason. And that doesn't mean necessarily that you have to win a national championship, but how you play in the postseason really defines your career at UConn relative to everybody else that's been there. So if you just say, you know, she had a great career, I think what she had, 1,700 points. I mean, that's a lot of points. I bet you there aren't a lot of guys that have more than that. And there's things that she doesn't do that that I harp on her about every single minute of every day. But there are things that she does do that no one else on our team can. And she's been starting every year since she was a freshman. And she started off her freshman year with a bang. But, you know, sometimes the expectations for kids are so high here at UConn that, you know, even when they're really, really, really good, again, March is everything. Good or bad, right or wrong. It's all about March.
Geno, Paige, is it just getting her legs under her, rust? Is it maybe fear of re-injury? What does she need to get through?
Well, the actual physical part is real, you know. Playing 2 games in 2 days, and you know, you knew that she was not going to be feeling 100%. Because when she is, she's back to her old self at practice. So the physical part is real. The other part, the frustration part, and not being able to do it when she wants, on demand, whenever she feels like it, that's a separate issue. And that, you know, at some point you have to adjust to. You know, you either don't play at all, or understand that you at 85% can still be better than 90% of the kids playing college basketball. And don't let your frustration get in the way of that. But, you know, she's a kid, and she's never faced this kind of adversity before. So, you know, it's a learning process for her, just like it would be for anybody else.
You saw Caroline kind of reemerge tonight after a few games where she wasn't effective, but it's kind of easy to forget that she probably saved you guys a couple of losses during that.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's really important.
Absolutely. Ever since the Notre Dame game, hell, if we didn't have her, that's what I said, we might not make the tournament. You know, and if Azzi had decided to take the whole year off instead of come back and play, who the hell knows what would have happened in the Tennessee game or Marquette game at Marquette or some other game, I forget where she went off. So yeah, everybody's kind of taking their turns. And, you know, everybody was the savior for that week, you know? And now I think they believe in each other more. They trust each other more. And that's probably the best way that I can put it. But I'm glad we have these 10 days. We got a lot of work to do. We have to get better, obviously, because every other team that's got a chance to win is going to go home and try to get better. And there's some things that we did tonight that I didn't like that we have to get better. And there's some things that we're really, really good at that we want to keep getting good at.
Has Caroline played more defense in the last 7-8 games since she come back than she ever played in her life?
She's getting there. Like I told you, I'm not ready to put John Havlicek's name on her locker. She's still got some work to do.
So, you know, a month ago I asked you if you were having any fun. You were a little quizzical about it. Having any more fun now, the way this team is now playing?
Yeah. It's fun to see the response, the reaction that they get when they do it a certain way. And the point that I made about they constantly disappointed themselves was, I'm playing defense, guy drives by me, there's nobody there to help. And so now it's like, to hell, man. Well, I'm wide open, you're coming off a screen and you throw the ball and hit me in the foot with it. Or we really need a bucket right now and you miss a layup. Or we got to have this rebound right now in practice to beat these guys, and we don't get it. So like there was this constant disappointment, and everybody, including me, will go home going, this is just, I'm not sure it's fixable. And, you know, eventually it sorted itself out, and now you look at this past 3 days and you say, this is a team that looks like they trust each other. And that's the best thing that could happen, is mentally they trust themselves and mentally they trust each other. At this time of the year, it's all about your teammates can help you win a national championship or they can lose one for you. So you don't want to be that guy that lets your teammates down by not getting a single rebound that could win us a national championship. You don't want to be that guy that misses a layup, or that guy's wide open like this and you hit him in the foot with a pass. You don't want to be that guy. So you can play poorly and we could still win a national championship. You could play great and us not win it. But if you feel like you lived up to your teammates' expectations, you know, hey, my success depends on you too. His success depends on you too, and you too. And you just go right around the room, and everybody's got to buy in. And it's not like in the regular season where, okay, let's go watch film and then we'll fix it the next game. There is no next game. So the stakes are very high. And you can't go into this tournament with anything more important than where your mind is. I think that's one reason we've been so successful over the years in the NCAA tournaments. I don't necessarily worry about physically where they are. I could care less physically where they are. I care about where are we mentally, and if we're in a really, really good place, everything else will take care of itself.
When's the last time you think you had a group that trusted each other this much? Has it been a while?
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. These guys trusted themselves last year to a certain extent, but I don't think we had enough players. They had to play too many minutes. So when Nika got hurt and then we got to the bubble down there, it just didn't, you knew it was like we were hanging by a thread. And we beat Baylor and they were immature and they didn't take Arizona seriously. So before that, it's probably, I would have to go back to Feast and Lou, because the players had ultimate respect and trust in those two. I mean, they were gonna be there for you no matter what. All you had to do was just do your part. And this seems to be that. Like I'm like really thrilled that I could set up 4 straight plays for AZ, and all the older guys go, I guess, yeah, that's fine with me. That's good. She should be the one. There's no like, how come? There's none of that. Zero. So that's what winning is all about.
And that even comes in terms of sitting. The players are not, they're willing to sit for each other.
Yeah.
Which is rare, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And the thing that I always try to explain to them is, if your role changes, let me get this right. Your role just changed, and now you're going to bitch and moan and pout. Because you know what? When coach sees that, they're going to play me more. Seriously? So I got one way to react if I want to play more, or if I want to play my share. Accept my role and be great at it. And that's what they've done.